And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for a very quick watch along. The Sevens is underway, and the BLITZBOKS will be taking on Scotland very shortly in their first match of the weekend. Currently topping the Sevens charts are the BLITZBOKS. They've been pretty much untouchable, really, throughout the entire couple of tournaments. You know, they haven't lost a game in I think it's like 20, 22 odd games or whatever it is. So very much the favourites to go all the way and actually win the series. And yeah, the big thing at the moment now is to make sure that you just keep picking up those points. Fiji was set to make its return to the Sevens circuit this week, but unfortunately, a bunch of COVID cases means that they are unable to join up with the rest of them. So no Fiji this weekend, unfortunately. But yeah, I think it's the Sevens side. We've always been pretty good Sevens, but we've never been this dominant. And the important thing now is just to keep the momentum and to make sure that we just keep picking up the points, keep making sure that we're on top of things, and go all the way as long as we can. Because two tournament victories fairly early on in this year, and suddenly you could almost have the series wrapped up. So kickoff's in about 8 minutes time. So let's get smashing that like button. Let me know what your score predictions are. You'd imagine that it should be relatively comfortable. In terms of some of the other results we've seen today, Canada beating Kenya at the start of the day, 19 points to 17, before France demolished Wales, 38 points to 10. Ireland beating Japan, 33 points to 14. And Germany, a very impressive result, holding Australia 12 points all. So it's a very interesting matches there. And then we're going to have selecting on Scotland. Then the USA is taking on Spain, Argentina versus Jamaica, and then the second round starts at about 5 o'clock. However, we will not be playing tonight because we would usually have been playing Fiji, and obviously they're not available. So the next time the BLITZBOKS will play will be tomorrow at 2:15 up against England. No Angelo Davids for the rest of the Sevens season, which is quite a big blow for them. I'm interested to see how he does in the Sevens circuit. Obviously, he's had two very good games, but yeah, it's just it must be frustrating when you think there are so many great Sevens players who can sometimes go to the Sevens, the 15 circuit, and be pretty average 15s players. I mean, they take somebody like Werner Kok, for example, even Siabela Sinatla, who are solid 15s players at the moment in the setup, haven't necessarily gone and really sort of broken through and set the wall alight. But they would be superstars where they're still on the Sevens circuit. So it's a bit of frustration, I think, imagine, with some of our best Sevens players not always being there. However, that Sevens Academy in Stellenbosch just absolutely churns our talent. So we haven't really missed any of these players yet. But I think somebody like Sinatla, I'm not convinced he's going to make it at the highest level and go to sort of Springboks. I know that you do earn more money making 15s, but he could go down as one of the best Sevens players ever if you were to commit to the format. So, players like that, I think, I'd like to see him stay with the Sevens. But we still have some very exciting players. JC Pretorius is currently in an incredible patch of form. Sullivan Davids is a very exciting player. We've got Justin Gadolt back as well, bringing a lot of experience to the team. So there's still plenty of talent. What channel on SuperSport? It's on 211. It's on the Rugby channel. I was a bit worried as well because I couldn't really find it, but they were just showing the repeat of the Curry Cup, and now they're switching over to the 7. So it is live on SuperSport Rugby. Right, so what are our score predictions here? BLITZBOKS Scotland. Scotland not necessarily the best 7 side, but 7 is a strange game. It's a very strange game. Where, yeah, I mean, you start off well, you get a couple of early opportunities, and all of a sudden you can be well on top, and that's why we've seen some amazing upsets. I mean, Germany, for example, holding Australia 12 points all. I mean, that's nobody I think could have predicted that at the start of the weekend. Kenya have had some fantastic upsets over the years. I mean, they've won tournaments. USA has obviously developed themselves into a very, very formidable 7 side. So I wouldn't say there are too many easy games on the circuit because it is such a short format that if you don't start well, you can suddenly find yourself behind quite quickly. But we do have so much quality across the side. You do expect us to be able to get the job done. So, I mean, players to watch out for. So, from a South African perspective, obviously, I think JC Pretorius is somebody who has really stepped up lately. Zane David's a bit of a stalwart there and providing a lot of physicality. Justin Khadol back at fly half today. Well, I think he's actually playing at centre today, which will be quite interesting. So the World Rugby 7 Series win streaks. So South Africa's currently on a 24 win streak. New Zealand currently has the longest with 41. So if South Africa were to win the next 3 games, that overtake Fiji with 26 wins and move themselves into the 4th longest win streak in the history of the game. But yeah, unfortunately, no Fiji this weekend, which would have made for much better viewing. I mean, obviously, we want to be playing the best teams. You know, you want to be playing against the best sides. You want to be testing yourselves against the best of the world. And when Fiji and New Zealand aren't there, it's just not quite really the case. But that is sort of modern times. You have to move with it. We can't complain. We have to just go in Malaga, which is not your typical sevens destination, but good to see some fans in the stadium. Yeah, pity we didn't get to have sevens in Cape Town last year, but I think looking pretty good. Hopefully, have the World Cup this year, which will be a massive plus. I think I'm gonna have to get down there. I think we're gonna have to go down to the World Cup and cover it properly because I've yet to been to a South African sevens. I was supposed to go last year and it was cancelled. I was supposed to go the year before and it was cancelled, and now it's been cancelled again. So yeah, maybe third time's the charm. Third time's the charm. Alpha Lingus says, Fiji, we have little competition. Poor Scotland. Yeah, I mean, it's USA, isn't it, really? Australia are reasonable 7 side on the day. Argentina can play, but yeah, I mean, if we look at the last 5 meetings, that we have won all of them. The closest game was 21 points to 12. So it's always been pretty comfortable when we have taken on Scotland. Hopefully, we'll face a bit of stiffer competition. But in terms of the starting line, we're MP Fisser, Zane Davis, JC Pretorius, Branko Dupree, Selvin Davids, Justin Khazil, and the captain, Severa Soya Zwapi, is starting off the bench for the BLITZBOKS. It will be Diol Tuman, Duran Oosthuizen, Mfundum Ndlovu, Christy Krabala, and Darren Adonis. So it's a pretty strong side being named by Paul Chews, obviously in his last season. The BLITZBOKS now sporting their new jersey, and I'll be currently sponsored by We Buy Cars, which is a pretty horrendous logo to add on there. But you can never complain about having any sponsorship because the sponsors are what make the sport tick. So no complaints really there. Right, South Africa in off the right. They're playing right to left, and there is kickoff. Wait, kickoff. Right, and there we go. Salvin Davis getting us underway. Decent attempt from the restart there, but it's well taken by Scotland. Now Scotland working to work down the left here. Side carry there by Gavin Lowe. Early penalty for not releasing for Scotland. In fact, I want to be doing. So penalty for Scotland. They will kick towards the corner. They do win the line as well from Scotland. So nice line of victory for them. Looking to spread wide. And then I believe Lee Jones managed to slip a tackle. Looking for support. It's recycled by Kellen Barreto. Swung wide by Ross McCann. Back towards number 7. That's Jamie Farndale. So South Africa, I haven't had any possession just yet. So as Uppy's come off the line, there's a lot of space down the right there. A lot of spreading needs to happen. Breaker de Prez coming across the cap. That's a very nice hit from him. Got a bit of a full moon over there as well. The ball comes away from Lowe as they look to spread left. BLITZBOKS do have the numbers. So McCann trying to get in the outside of Salvin Davids. Salvin Davids eventually bringing him down to ground. But it will be recycled for Scotland. And attacking quickly from the penalty. JC Pretorius got his arms all over that ball. He now has to release now it's gone down. So it's another penalty, and we're going to see a yellow card here for the BLITZBOKS for continued infringements. Look, to be fair, one of those things where had he released, they would have probably been able to have picked up and gone. So probably the penalty that he had to give away to JC Pretorius, but he will now go into the bin. And they're going to take the scrum here, Scotland, because they're down. Because South Africa down to 6 points. This is what I'm talking about. If you don't start well, suddenly you're under a lot of pressure. So it's been a very good start here for Scotland. There comes the Scottish scrum. Right, space out the wide for Scotland if they want to use it. They do go right to the with the one-on-one between Justin Cadilt. Bounced off one, but he's brought down by Salvin Davids, who's very quick over the ball. Misses it though. Scotland looking to work it towards the left again. Fisher trying to get on the outside of a can, gets to get the ball away. St. Davis steps in. He steps in here, still going. Ball inside. Far too many tackles being missed so far. There's good work there. Really nice step there from Kellen Barreto. And another penalty for not rolling. BLITZBOKS need to retreat again. And they've gone over. This is what I say. Paddy Kelly has gone over for Scotland, who have been all over the BLITZBOKS in the opening 5 minutes. And South Africa have given away, I think there must have been about 5 or 6 penalties in a row. JC Pretorius still with 42 seconds left on the clock. So not the start the BLITZBOKS would have wanted, but they haven't touched the ball. And as soon as you go down to 6 men, it becomes very difficult to defend. 7-0. And South Africa trail to Scotland after the first 4 minutes. Work to do here, work to do. Right, South Africa will now see the kickoff. It's a very nice take up the air. Right, first bit of possession for South Africa. What can they do with it? It's a kick over the top there from Justin Geduld. It's a bit of a strange kick because all he's done is given possession straight back, but I think he had a penalty advantage. And JC Pretorius is back on the park. So back to a full contingent with the BLITZBOKS for 2.5 minutes to try and hit back. Right, on the halfway mark here, South Africa, let's see what they want to do. They take it quickly. Now, Simon Davis looking for a bit of space, decides to go to the left, give it to Banky Dupree, kicks to the top for JC Pretorius to kick. He's got the pace, but the ball is going to win the race. Not the worst result, though. It will be a 5-meter line for Scotland, so I'll still be under a lot of pressure. BLITZBOKS will be able to throw a man in the air and compete. Balling behind wasn't the worst idea because JC Pretorius is he's got a lot of gas, is he? So probably would have won the race had that ball stayed in. Barreto now needs to make sure he gets the feed in correctly here. He goes to the front of the line out. Bottom to Barreto, looking to run it, obviously. But it's not in straight. It's a penalty, actually, against Scotland. For, I think, taking the man in the air or hitting the arms is the call. So the discipline, just pretty much keeping South Africa out the game. They're almost playing against themselves the way they've been so ill-disciplined in the opening stages here. So empty fist of the man who penalised there. Right, Barreto going once he gets a decent line from the Scotland as a knockdown. A lot of pressure on Barreto. Giving out to Low. And Justin Geduld, that's a brilliant tackle. I mean, they've pinned them all the way back on the 5-meter. That's really good work by the BLITZBOKS. Now McCann trying to run away from danger. So he needs to make sure he doesn't get too far away. That's a big tackle, good tackle from him. Managed to stop. He's still going. In fact, he's almost slipped the tackle. Tuazapi eventually brought him down, but he's made a lot of meters there. Scotland looked to keep it towards tight, going back towards the support. The charge down came in and the ball fall out right by the 22. So BLITZBOKS, I suppose, doing well to keep Scotland inside their own half, but they've got to get their hands on the ball here. 20 seconds left, so Scotland should be able to take this nice and slowly, win possession, and then probably look to kick it out. Seven seconds to Scotland. Have to try and get this ball, keep this ball and go out. Right. Huta has gone. Interesting to see what they do here. I think it was a knock-on from Scotland, so it will be half-time. Right, half-time. Scotland 7-0 up against BLITZBOKS. Not what we sort of planned. I can remove the yellow card, though, because JC Pretorius is back on the park. Not the start that BLITZBOKS imagined. But this is what I was talking about earlier, is that Sevens is one of those games where you just start well, get yourself ahead, and suddenly, you know, you can find yourself in a very good position. Right, so this is the 22. We have still haven't been in the 22 yet. 2 carries compared to 17. I think that tells a big story. You know, just 2 carries so far from the BLITZBOKS. Got to get their hands on the ball and got to get playing. Gordon is saying, we lads from Bonnie, Scotland. Albert Lincoln said it's blamed on the French ref. Yeah, I mean, we can, but I just think it's been pretty poor. I don't think they've really switched on as of yet. But 7 points is an easy lead to bring down. So hopefully the BLITZBOKS can just start a little bit more positively in the second half. That is to come. After this, England next tomorrow. So, I mean, you basically win one game and you should be good for the qualifiers. You can win both games. You're just top of the log. And then it comes into the playoffs, and that's when we got to start playing well. Ba-ba-da-ba. Players like to come on. You'll probably see Ryan Oosthuizen replaced. On the park pretty quickly. Wouldn't surprise me if he came on immediately, actually. But very nice bench for the BLITZBOKS to be able to call upon. Looks like Ndlovu's got his before, so I think he could be on the park. Scotland will not kick off, so South Africa will, if they can take it off the kicker, will start with the possession, which is exactly what they need. Nice early try, and then they can really start playing. South Africa gone to the boot twice already, so probably want to try to keep the ball a bit and handle a little bit more. It's got to go with the restart towards the left-hand side. And it's gone into touch. So it's a short-time free kick on the halfway line for the BLITZBOKS. That's not the start that Scotland would have wanted. Right, what can the BLITZBOKS conjure up? They're on the halfway line, so they've got... Right, Sullivan Davis tapped and gone. Where does he want to go? He's got 3 to the left, 3 to his right. Decides to go to the right, to Justin Geduld. It's a really good line being run by Zane Davis. Does he have the pace? Does he have the pace? You betcha he's got the pace. And BLITZBOKS are over. Far, far too easy there. Justin Geduld just delaying the pass by a fraction. Really nice line there run by Zane Davis as he bursts through. And the big forward has got the pace to go all the way. So a nice start there from the BLITZBOKS. Not just a, yeah, I mean, you look at that play. It's a fantastic angle run. You see, and this the delay pass from Justin Geduld. Initially looked like he wanted to play it early. He just held him for a fraction, and Zay David just hit the gap and a nice ball through, perfectly timed. And once he's through, he's always going to go all the way. Pushing the conversion slightly to the left, so it'll remain 7 points to 5. So another try will need. Zane Davis far more known for his defensive work. He's the leading tackle in the series, but there just showing a little bit of his pace. Gordon says, look like Hagger's better than Biltong. Look, early days. There's still 5 minutes left on the clock. It's a nice take there from Lowe. Scotland now back inside the 22. And they've lost the ball forward. They're turning over ball here. Now what can South Africa do? Sullivan Davis' first wave with 30. Still a bit of a gap. Sullivan Davis is through. That is what Sullivan Davis does. As soon as it gets to broken play, he gets his hands on the ball. If there's a half gap, he'll find it. And that's been pounced upon brilliantly by the BLITZBOKS. It was a nice big tackle by Justin Geduld to force the ball and move on forward. And as soon as Sullivan Davis was on it like a flash, I mean, the skill, he's looking where, I mean, as he's going for the ball, he's already looking at where he wants to go. He uses Zane Davis as a bit of a shield, steps across. I mean, it's a lethal step here. And then he just bursts through the gap. He's got so much pace to Sullivan Davis. He had Impey Fist outside him anyway, so it was going to be a try one way or the other. But Sullivan Davis backed himself, and it proved to be the right decision. Difficult conversion chance. Once again, goes off to the right-hand side. You don't want to give Sullivan Davis space. There's one thing you don't do when he's around is give him any space. Don't give him a sniff because he will take it. Pretty deep restart there. They're 22. Jace Pretorius has missed the tackle, but it's been made by Impey Fissa. BLITZBOKS now just need to keep Scotland on the other end of the park here. That's Finley Canahan has just come up on the park for Scotland. There we go. First penalty for the BLITZBOKS in a decent position as well, just outside the 22. Pretty central as well. Slightly off to the left. Sullivan Davis opting to just slow things down. Right. Which direction Sullivan Davis is going to go? It looks like the right's on. He does go to the right. Decides to go kick himself. I mean, it's just so easy. It's so easy. He literally taps it, decides to go to the right, puts it to the boot, grab it through to himself, picks it up and goes. Over he goes. It's just too good. He is far too good. He's got the pace. He's got the skill set. And, I mean, that was far too... Look how easy this is. He just taps it, waits it, then he goes. Boom. Grab it in behind, gets it past Low, has the pace, ball pops up, goes over. Thank you very much. Under the poles. I mean, the surgeon. You can call him a surgeon with the precision that he plays with. right in front of the pole. So Branko de Pre this time as the extra 17 points to 7 with 2 minutes and 46 seconds remaining on the clock. Zane Davis, really good work at the breakdown there to win the penalty as well. So now things are just starting to slide quite towards the blitz box. I mean, they've got 2 minutes left. They can slow things down. They're going to wait for Salvin Davis to come take it. A couple of players on the park as well. Looks like they've unloaded the bench. But that's just really good. I mean, Zane Davis at the breakdown is a master at work. Davis decides now go to Justin Gedult. Goes to Jesse Pretorius. It's a bit of a 2-on-1 situation. If you could draw him past, starts going the inside, gets away from one. Sawyer Zwapi now for the corner. Sawyer Zwapi is over in the corner. It's created by Jesse Pretorius. He managed to get away from one, draws another one, puts it aside. Now Sawyer Zwapi is clutching his shoulder, so it has come at a cost, has this try. Time is off. That's Sawyer Zwapi. Sorry, it's back on now. Sawyer Zwapi does receive a bit of treatment. I think he will be substituted, and the game will carry on. As the conversion goes off to the right. Score remained 22 points to 7, just over 60 seconds to play. And Glorview and Adonis on for the blitz box now. They went pretty short there from the kickoff, have they? At the blitz box. 49 seconds to go. Scotland giving it to replacement Grant Hughes, who's wrapped up by Salvin Davids and Glorview looks like. Now working their way to the left here are Scotland. Still very deep inside their own half. Gets away from the tackle from Zane Davids. But the penalty comes for the blitz box. Now, Ryan Oosthuizen on the park. Let's take quickly Salvin Davids. Run the hands. They've got the numbers they want to use, but Justin Gedult has decided to go to the other side. Krobbelar's got Zane Davids outside, and Krobbelar's going to go himself. Krobbelar's still going himself, and Krobbelar's going off to the corner. The one-on-one tackling, must be said, has left a lot to be desired, but within seconds to go there, he's come off the bench, and Christy Krobbelar has gone over for a try. Blitzbox will finish the game, well, with the kick to come at this stage, 27 points to 7. After a sketchy first half where they couldn't get their hand on the ball, the second half, they've had all the possession, and they are putting a bit of a masterclass. And the angles you run, the pace, the skill set you need in sevens, you can see why they're so good. You can see why this team is so dominant. And that is 25 wins in a row now for the side. Yeah, the kick has gone off to the right. So the final score will be 27 points to 7. We will be live tomorrow for some more sevens action. Unfortunately, we can't do much more today because I'm working. But we will see you guys hopefully tomorrow for some more seven stuff. So please do make sure you come and tune in. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.